Buying a house without knowing what your budget closing costs are is sort of like painting your house without knowing the color. When you know your budget closing costs up front, you'll be better prepared and have fewer surprises. Knowing these figures will help you plan and budget so you can make a wise financial decision. The truth is, good deals go really fast. When you know your numbers, you can take advantage of good deals without hesitation. So on this video, I'm going to walk you through what your closing costs will be so you can be better prepared. These are the costs of doing business, of buying a home. But I'll summarize the big ones here. Typically in Chicago, your purchase closing costs will be about $5,000. This number is made up of many elements. Number one, title costs. When you close, you'll do a mutual third-party location. This is where the property is officially transferred into your name. Number two, loan fees. You need to pay the bank to get the loan. Our fees are one of the lowest in the city. Number three, transfer stamps. There are some miscellaneous costs as well, but these are the larger ones. Knowing these closing costs up front will allow you to better plan your total amount of money needed for closing. But typically, the largest out-of-pocket expense a borrower has is the down payment. Your down payment will leave your bank account. This is going to be the amount of money you are paying towards the house. How much should you put down? This is going to be different from borrower to borrower, but generally speaking, in the eyes of a seller, a borrower who puts 20% down payment versus 5% is considered a stronger buyer. But don't be confused. You can buy a home with as little as 3% down. We will present you as strong as possible and in best of a light we can to the sellers, so your offer will appeal to them just as much as that 20% would. You may have heard of 100% financing for VA loans or FHA financing that only requires 3.5% and are wondering if those are options for you. All of these programs work independently, but in general, less than 5% down payment will most likely have maybe a slightly higher interest rate or fees that conventional loans do not. For example, FHA mortgage insurance will be higher than a conventional loan. However, FHA will take a lower credit score and less down payment and will be a lot more forgiving on your dings from your credit report in the past. In other words, there is a trade-off, but that's what you can expect. What about receiving down payment assistance? Down payment assistance is typically a grant or a bond program that is funded either by the state or county or city to help its residents buy a home. A certain amount of funds are set aside to stimulate a certain segment of low to moderate income earners. Once the money runs out, though, the program does as well. There was a program this year that had a ton of interest and was extremely successful. There was a state program that allowed to pay off student loans to some first-time qualified home buyers. It ran so fast that the money was gone before we could do this. One more thing that you may want to consider with this is mortgage insurance. Private mortgage insurance is defined as an insurance policy that protects the lender if you are unable to pay your mortgage. It's a monthly fee rolled into your monthly mortgage payment that is required for all conforming conventional loans that have a down payment less than 20%. Once you've built equity of 20% in your home, you can request to cancel your PMI and remove that expense from your monthly payment. The cost of PMI varies and can vary greatly based on your loan-to-value ratio, based on your debt-to-income ratio, and most of all, based on your credit score. You might be asking why they would place this charge on you. The reason is very simple. It limits their risk.